I've had to try too hard to open up your eyes, but yours is not the only way. You shut your mouth to die. You won't change me. You won't tame my thunder. You won't break me. You won't take me under. Yeah, let me just make sure it's not going to keep playing shit. Alright, yeah, cool. So, unfortunately, because I was in a rush to get this all set up, I left it on normal latency instead of low latency. Damn. So, there is going to be that long lag between messages, but we'll do the best that we can. Yeah, I mean... Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, holidays, for me, because I'm doing nothing with my life, every day is, it's just, I mean, so I've got to notice your message for you to be able to test the lag. Okay, let me, I'll write it in, if I write it in OBS, it'll take a moment. So, if I do now and, okay, now, then you can see the lag and tell me how long that was. Anyway, yeah, no, because I'm doing nothing with my life, the holidays are kind of like, sorry, I'm just distracted by my background. I'm like, what is all this shit I've got going on there? Nearly 30 seconds! Great, that's what we've come to expect. Yeah, no, lots of, like, just stuff, because I'm off the rails, ain't I? But no, holidays, because I'm doing nothing with my life. Are holidays much different to regular days? I think the main difference is that more people are around, and, you know, mum's gym, she can't go to the gym as much, so all kinds of chaos could happen. I don't know if you guys noticed in the Heron video, the shed has been painted, and that is from Mum getting bored. There we go. I thought it looked kind of weird. Oh, that song was from my Asexuality EP. It's the first one on the EP, I think. And it's a good one to start a set with, because when I'm at one of those gigs, you know, when I was doing the open mics especially, no one expects that. And I just start off with this jarring noise and screaming at them after they've been listening to acoustic singer-songwriters and whatever. Wow, now that I've turned that light up, let me just adjust it. Is that better? That looks a bit more. Hey. Okay, what are we saying? Try that again, because I had no idea why I typed now. Okay. I'll type now, because we don't trust Mad Simple, so I'm typing now. And I'm gonna press send now. Okay, go for it. I know, it's terrible, and I need to, like, I don't know, it would be good if there was some way to remind myself. It took a while to get on screen as well, so the now just popped up there. 26 seconds? Oh dear. Yeah, so there's like a lag between YouTube and then OBS and then Stream Elements putting it on this thing where you guys all are. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, so 20 seconds between me saying now and you pressing enter. I am such a high quality YouTuber. Anyway, so the reason we are gathered here today is because it's Festivus. A Festivus for the rest of us. Because, yeah, you know, raised Catholic, we have the Christmas tree up, we've got all the presents kinds of things, but, I don't believe in any kind of God. I certainly don't believe in Jesus. You know, like, maybe there have been people called Jesus, whether any of them did any of that stuff. I don't think so. My favorite story in the Bible is the one where he turns the water into wine, and my theory is they were so drunk that they just thought the water was wine. It's like, yeah, totally, this is wine. Have some more. This is the best wine ever. Anyway, yeah, religion and stuff. Okay, it's an excuse to have a holiday, fine, but a lot of stuff closes. I guess there are sales. I can deal with the sales. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, what are the Festivus festivities? Well, the airing of Grievances and the Feats of Strength. Should I just read my Facebook post to you guys? Like, I made it private, because I don't need every random seeing it, but you guys are, I guess, my inner circle, in a way. Like, not quite cult levels of inner circle, but close enough. So yeah, I posted a photo of me with the hamper, which we'll unbox soon enough. Oh my god, people are sending me messages, and I'm just going to close those up. Oh, how many words was this? Let me see. Let me put that into Microsoft Word. And 680. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Sometimes I can go on and on and on and on and on. So, shall I read this? So, I mean, okay, well, for background, I'm sure you guys know what Festivus is. Are you guys? I don't know if any of you are too young for Seinfeld, but even people my age, it turns out, even living in Australia, haven't seen Seinfeld, so... But, you know, Festivus, right? Frank Costanza's holiday, although it apparently started elsewhere, not actually on Seinfeld, so someone somewhere was already celebrating it, but we did have a pole that my brother and I made. It wasn't strictly aluminium, it was a wooden pole that we spray painted silver, but then we got an aluminium bow tie. So he's a little bit decorated, but anyway. No, you have the airing of Grievances. I had a lot of problems with you people, and now you're gonna hear about it. And then the Feats of Strength. Well, in that case, it's someone has to wrestle the head of the household. My dad has a bad back, so that's not gonna happen. That'd be pretty easy. Yeah, anyway, blah blah. We don't really need to go over all that. Home improvement. More power and so on. Let me just check the stream health is, yeah, good. Okay, so if we're going back to Facebook. So what I've written, it's that time of year again. That's right, Festivus! But I think between Facebook and YouTube, I've already managed to air the bulk of my grievances. Similarly with the Feats of Strength, just making it to the end of the year has more than filled the quota. Not everything has been terrible, and there have been some big changes that are hopefully leading me to a better place, finally. But overall, 2023 has not been my year, and I'll be glad to see it bugger off already. Angry face emoji. Can I... hang on, let me just bring up the screen. Can I make an angry face? What? Invented by... yeah. Frank Costanza. A lot of my guinea pigs in the past were named after Seinfeld characters. So we had Frank and George. They were the original guinea pigs. And then, Kramer. We did pick up this random one that was called, like, BB or something. That one didn't last very long, and I didn't really know enough about guinea pig psychology at the time to realize that two males would fight, and the loser got injured and probably infected and died. But, you know, Kramer was awesome. Kramer was the best guinea pig either. No, I don't watch that. Yeah, Kramer, and then I got Elaine, and so she was my first female guinea pig. And she was already pregnant when I got her, and I didn't realize. I had her in an indoor cage, so she didn't even go anywhere near Kramer. And Kramer was an Abyssinian, you know, rough-haired guinea pig, whereas she was a smooth-haired, and all her kids were smooth-haired. So then we had Jerry, Putty, and Susan. So those are all the guinea pigs. And also, once they're all gone... maybe my wise godmother got me, or someone got us a little figurine of a guinea pig, and I think I called that one Newman. So anyway, yeah, all my guinea pigs have Seinfeld names. Anyway, back to it. So angry face emoji. I assume if you're reading this, or if you're listening to it now, you care enough. Okay, maybe the people watching don't care enough, but you're entertained enough to already know how my year has been. But to summarize, and me summarizing is never that short, but anyway. To summarize, the year started off with my mental health declining so badly that I once again found myself completely unable to work. That's been incredibly hard for me to accept, because if I can't even handle a pretty awesome job like bonsai, does that mean that I'm just not cut out for work at all? This is absolutely not the situation I expected as a former top student who was constantly told I had such a bright future and could do or be anything and go so much further than I ended up. How I am saying it is not how it sounded in my head. Probably because I'm in live streaming mode now as opposed to typing my heart out on Facebook or whatever. But anyway, inside voice and outside voice do not match up. Where am I up to? Okay, so after that, a combination of family situation things, feeling crowded, processing more and more trauma I didn't know I had, elbow cutting psychology funding, that's our Prime Minister, a biased psychologist suggesting I had DID to try selling me unwarranted EMDR, having to change my regular psychologist, the new psychologist not really knowing what to do with me, not knowing what to do with me. The new psychiatrist not listening and just insisting on autism despite all contradictory evidence, more medication side effects, getting COVID, getting a mystery sickness where I lost my voice, which was entertaining for YouTube, but more Centrelink stress, more potential bans letting me down, and then just as things finally seemed to settle for me, I had to let go of hope, heartbreak emoji. Are you kidding me? And like that November. There was a lot of death in November because there was that magpie that I rescued only to find out that it had broken its wings, so they had to euthanize that. And then there was my little queen ant who died that I'd had for about 9 months, I think since February. And then my dog having seizures and having to let him go. So yeah, November was rough. Bloody hell. But I still managed to... Anyway, no, I'll keep reading before I get on more tangents. So... next bit, like for real, can 2023 just not? Somehow I avoided hospital and worse, but for fuck's sake, give me a goddamn break. Okay, and then that's the most negative part of it. Then I go on to some more positive stuff. Fortunately, though, not everything was terrible, and I've turned some kind of a corner, however small. I feel more supported by those closest to me. I have a band I can actually count on in the works, and I've been taking better steps to look after myself in ways I didn't think were important in the past, but now realize actually are. I just really hope I can keep up my efforts and that more things start working out for me. 2024 is the year of the dragon too, which is my year. And while I'm not superstitious, I do hope that gives me a bit of a psychological boost, because brains be like that, lol, and my brain likes symbolism. There have also been a few other things. I have made a typo. Excuse me while I go in and edit that. I hate when I have to edit Facebook posts because I try and keep them like pristine, but that one's going to annoy me. There have also been a few other things this year. You can tell I was rushing at that point. There have also been a few other things this year that I haven't posted about online, not anywhere, not even on Patreon. And I thought I might mention at least some of them today, ... but nah, fuck it. The internet doesn't need to know, and the people who are important already do, and I can always tell people IRL in real life as things come up. Some things I just don't want or need to broadcast. But they have already changed aspects of my life and will probably have big impacts later, hopefully for the better. Eventually some of it might come out, and when it does, that's fine. But right now I'm happy to just keep some shit to myself, even if they challenge more ideas about myself or end up making more fundamental changes to my life. That is awkwardly worded. I'll just see where it all goes. So there's some mystery shit. Anyway, blah blah blah. I actually wrote that, blah blah blah. Basically, fuck 2023, crossing fingers for 2024, improving my chances by doing what I can, still buying my lottery tickets too. At the very least, get me back on stage so I can remember what that adrenaline is like. I've managed to still be here, so I'm doing my best to make it better than it has been. You get the point, which is a long way of saying I deserve my A Touch of Luxury hamper. And then I say, now I'm heading over to YouTube to live stream me unboxing it. So, blah 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 blah, that is my Facebook post. Where are we up to? Oh, yeah, no, I caught up with all the messages. Yes, so it's been like a really bad year. I think this has been one of my worst years. Like, last year was kind of bad, but I think it took a while to get bad, and then by the end of the year, I was fucked up. But this year started off fucked up. And it's been mostly fucked up the whole time. And then just as I started trying to change my life, the whole thing with hope. Yeah, so that's sucked. And it's taken me like this whole month to... Like, it's actually exactly a month since, his euthanasia day. It was on the 23rd of November. And now it's the 23rd of December. But yeah, no, it's taken me a lot. And like, some days I have really not been doing well. And sometimes dressing up is the only way. Oh shit, I haven't posted the short that I filmed today. But I have one more short to post before that. Because it's kind of an airing of a grievance about like skincare stuff. So I tried so hard to understand that. Anyway, shall we just get on to the unboxing portion of this thing? Or do you want me to rant about skincare? I can set up a poll, but I don't even know if you guys... What will I do first? How do I do that? Isn't there a way, or is that only in... Oh no, there it is. There's the button. Start a poll? Okay, what next? Unboxing skincare rant. Start poll. Is it doing the thing? What does it look like on OBS? Oh, it does come up on OBS. How about that? But can I see results on OBS? How old was Hope? He was 11. or 11 and a half. Yeah, sad face. Where's autism quiz? Autism quiz? Haven't I done one of those before? Or was that something different? I've done some kind of a video about autism before. I think I was going to do some quizzes live maybe, but I haven't set up for that today. No, Hope was 11. He was also born on the year of the dragon, and it's a bit sad that we didn't make it there together. And, you know, he was in such good health, so it was really quite difficult. Ooh, we have a split vote. Oh, no. Oh, there's 5 votes. I didn't know there were 5 people here. So, unboxing, and then we will do skincare rant. So I'll end that poll. And then what? We should do the autism quiz when you run out of rambling. But I haven't even looked up. I had 3, I think, that I was going to do, but I forget where I put them, like where I left the links to myself. You're going to do one on stream so we can help you answer. Oh, right, yeah, okay. Well, I think we're going to have to do that another day. I do have a list of things that I was going to do. Like, I still have my to-do list. Oh, shit, it's saying it's 11 p.m. and I should be going to bed. Well, fuck you, phone. No, I still have my to-do list because, like, when that whole thing happened with Hope, my whole life kind of just went on pause, and I feel like I'm sort of just catching up to it because I had all the YouTube stuff, but then catching up with the YouTube stuff, I was making more YouTube stuff, and then just trying to figure out, like, I've also got my next poetry book to release, and I just haven't even touched it to check that it looks alright. I have given a copy to my honest friend. He hasn't told me about any issues with it, but I don't know if he's read much yet. So, like, there's all this stuff that's on pause, and, like, this to-do list still says, as the first 2 things, get dressed, walk, hope, and they were sort of ongoing things. And now, it's just not. So then there's, like, I was going to look at local fabric shops, leather paint to repair, peeling clothes. Someone wanted me to cover a Call of Duty song. I'm going to say, when did all this start in terms of, like, the makeup and girliness stuff? I was going to do an update about my PO box and sort of, like, you know, loosen up the rules there. Solo project practice, bonsai, art and painting, YouTube, some things I need to do, some suggestions I've had, covers, autism story and live stream. Oh, and that's everything. And then I've got other to-do lists on my computer. So, yeah, there's a lot. Let's just assume you also have autism to some degree. I mean, doesn't everyone, if it's a spectrum? What's going on about phones and stuff? Anyway, this is my hamper. I own it from the Hamper Emporium. Now the card, I got a blank card, and I gave it to Mum so that she can use for whatever, so there's nothing in there. I was like, you know, doing the stingy Asian thing, 'cause I don't need a card to myself. So I was like, yeah, I still want the free blank card. And just give it to Mum. I did also get my parents a hamper. I got them one with, like, cheese and salami and other things that I don't eat, which they loved. Like, I think it had probably olives or, I don't know, stuff and things. And I gave them a Christmas card that was saying something like, happily nibbling from the nutcase down the hall. That was my Christmas present to them. And they've already had, because cheese is refrigerated, so kind of had to get onto it. Anyway, this is my one, Touch of Luxury hamper. So it comes in, like, the box with, like, all this to make it, well, to try and keep it cool, because it's got chocolate in it. And it folds out like that. And then I can take it out, or I can just open it in there. But I think, to look nice, we'll just chuck that over there. And then, here we go. This is my Touch of Luxury hamper. And so, like, I've kind of already opened it to check that everything was there, or just roughly. But I haven't moved anything. I just took a photo with it. Ooh, look how fancy it is. Like, yeah. Very not me. But, like, you know, like I was reading out on the thing, I think I deserve a touch of luxury. So I'll show you all the things in it. And, like, this box is kind of fun. I can keep that for something. I don't know what. I keep stuff in it. Or go, yeah, it's fancy. Okay, Shall I start with the thing that I wanted most? The thing that I wanted most is the candle. Fine, which angle is the best? That angle? That angle? It's hard with the lighting. So, golden hour. I don't know how to pronounce this. Fuiguier. What does it say? Evokes the woody summer scent of a warmed fig tree in the sun. Slightly fruity with fresh, woody, and green notes to give rich and vibrant character. Hand-poured soy wax candle saturated with supreme quality fragrance. 30 hours, 260 grams. On the back, there's more stuff, it says. I'm sorry, my lighting is not that great. I do have the softbox thing set up, but the angle with all my gear is really difficult. Australians. So on the back, Fuiguier. The Cove candles feature a 100% natural soy wax base saturated with supreme quality fragrance for a quality experience. This premium blend is finished with pure cotton, lead-free wicks. The Cove candles create an idyllic ambience in the home with a burn time of up to 30 hours under normal conditions. What does normal conditions mean? Is there a way to burn a candle abnormally that I could have fun with and maybe shouldn't do, because then YouTube sort of says this is a video that kids shouldn't watch? Then again, should kids watch any of my content? Palermo. What does Palermo mean? Maybe that is... I don't even know which is the fucking company. Palermo Home. Palermo Home offers sleek home decor essentials that will elevate any space. European-inspired and Australian-designed, the collection caters to those who enjoy the finer things in life. Our philosophy? When in doubt, always opt for elegance. Okay, whatever. And then it's giving me a warning. Trim wick to 5mm before lighting for the first time and for each subsequent burn. I think my other candle said that too, and I haven't been doing it. Do not burn for more than 3 hours at a time. The other one said that too. Discontinue burning with less than 1 centimeter of wax remaining. Do not leave unattended and keep away from children, pets, and curtains. Do not place on or near electrical appliances. Keep away from external heat sources. Place on a heat-resistant surface and avoid drafts. Always burn on a suitable candle plate. What? Oh, do candle plates exist? I want one. Do not use the lid. It has a lid? Why do candles need a lid? Okay, whatever. Do not allow the flame to burn against the glass. Use only a candle snuffer to extinguish. Bullshit! As if I'm just gonna blow it out. Do not touch your burning candle or move it while wax is liquid. Designed in Australia. Yeah, some of that is just inconvenient as heck. No, I have another candle up there, which my godmother got me when, we had to say goodbye to Hope, and it was really nice, and I've burned it a few times. I think I've burned it 3 times now, and it does smell nice, but it's also like, even if I just keep it up there, when I walk in the door, I can get a whiff of it even when it's not lit, and yeah, it's nice. It's like I come in my room and I'm like, ooh, I don't know what I was just thinking about, but that's nice. Shall we open things as I go? Because I want to see what it's like. But yeah, so I am getting into scents, and I was going to make a video about that, but basically it's like sensory therapy, trying to get myself out of my head. And so scented candles. Also, I like fire, so that's like the different parts of me. It works nicely. Blowing out the candle sometimes cause hot molten wax to splash around. Yeah, but I don't blow like a leaf blower. I just go, and then it's done. Like, I'm not that much of a psycho. Like a candle snuffer. Where am I going to get a candle snuffer from? I suppose from a candle shop. Does that mean I have to go to a candle shop when Boxing Day sales are about to happen? Is that wise? I suppose I could be heaps fancy and like, snuff it. And just be like, here's a candle snuff. Aren't I so posh? Okay, I finally got that. Oh my god, look at this box design. That's crazy. Chomp, chomp. Like, I haven't seen I like when people do interesting box designs. Lots of people aren't that dull. Oh no, I can believe it. Alright, let's have a look at this candle. But yeah, I'm trying to collect things that smell nice. Ooh, look, it does have a lid. So I guess Palermo Home is the brand. Oh, I can't even do. So it kind of just looks the same all around. If we take the lid off. Oh, the lid is fancy. It's got like this almost suction. It's like, you know, so that it sticks on really well. And then that's that. Candle. Looks like a candle. That's probably the least surprising part, but there's no, like, colour. It does smell good. I suppose the lid so that I can smell the other candle. I also got some other candles from one of the goth shops, which I haven't got around to reviewing. I need to clean my... I've got like this dragon candle holder and it holds like 2 tea lights, and so they're these like smelly tea light things. I need to dust the shit out of it so that I can use these cool candles. They're like black scented candles, little tea light things, and then I can put it in the dragon and have a different smell and also having it look cool and finally use it as a candle holder instead of just a decoration that I've forgotten about. I still need to get rid of a lot of stuff. But yeah, so... I don't know what happened to the focus. But yeah, so candle. That's nice. I mean, I get a little bit worried sometimes when they say, like, what did they say it was? A warmed fig tree. Although maybe, so when I think of a fig tree, because I do bonsai, I think of an Australian native fig, but they might mean, like, the fruit fig. Just sometimes with the woody smells. I haven't really gotten anything with woody smells, but I am a bit like, is this gonna smell like work? Anyway, so I'll just put that back in the box for now so that I can... I don't know what to do with the box. I should probably, like, recycle the box rather than keep it floating around. But yeah, anyway, moving on. I'll just grab anything. Maggie beer, cocoa dusted, roasted peanuts and almonds. Made in Australia with Australian-grown peanuts and almonds, sustainably sourced cocoa. Where is this one made? Probably China. Yeah, made in China. You know, when they say, oh, European-inspired and Australian-designed, but not made in Australia. It's made in China. But that's fine. That's fine. No, this one. Made in Australia with Australian-grown peanuts and almonds, sustainably sourced cocoa. Could be from anywhere. Anyway, on the back... cocoa dusted, roasted peanuts and almonds, a unique twist on a traditional treat. Australian peanuts and almonds have been roasted and dipped in creamy milk chocolate, creating a decadent treat that is further enhanced by a dusting of cocoa that provides a balanced and rich chocolate finish. Made in Australia, blah, 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 blah. Premium Australian, free from artificial colours and flavours, then it's got all the ingredients. Yeah, whatever. I don't know that I'm going to eat it now because I've already had my last tea for the day, and when I have chocolate, I like to have some tea with it to just sort of like, oh no, wash it down. Oh, you can't actually see what it is because it's a silver thing. That's fine. We won't worry about that then. Maybe they'll all be like that. But that's the thing. I wonder if you can see... I do have the link to the page. Is there a way? Let me copy image address. I think I can get this on screen for you guys. Image file. Fine. I don't know if this is gonna work. I have to try one. No, look, here we go. So I guess it's like guess which thing is which. One thing is also not pictured in this one. Let me see if I can find, there's another picture with some stuff at the front. So let me copy image address to that one as well. And we'll get a, can I just duplicate that? No, let's just get another one. Well, I'll make this super dodgy. I mean, I will try one eventually. Just, I need tea. Look, here's the other picture. So here it is. Touch of luxury. Yay. Me wiggling the thing around. They're roughly the same size. Maybe not. Does it give me a line to say when they're the same size? Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I'm just going to obsess for a moment. Don't mind me. If we go to like 550, and then this one we can also make almost got it. There we go. They're the same size. Okay. Now you're hungry. Hungry snacks. So which one do you think that this is? Which of the thingies? I'm going to think the sort of brown dusty one. So no, this way. This one maybe. That looks like it's probably that. Is it expensive? Well, I mean, it's a hamper, so I guess they probably bulk buy this stuff and then distribute them, and then they do a top left. Which one top left? Like, you think this thing in the flowery one? I'm thinking it's in the circle one. The brown one in the circle one. But you think it might be the flowery bowl one? No, it wasn't too much. Let me look at the page. So, full price is $99 in Aussie, but they always have like $15 off things, or they seem to. Like every time I've looked, there's been a $15 off coupon. They're pretty easy to find anyway. So I think I got it for like $84, all this stuff. So it's pretty good, I think. And then the one I got for my parents was a bit more expensive, but that was covering for two people, and with cheese, and also had to pay for chilled delivery for that one. Whereas this one I got free postage. Yeah. What's a hamper? The way you've written that makes me think of L. Ron Hubbard. There's another one from Maggie Beer. 80% dark chocolate almonds. Again, made in Australia. With Australian grown almonds, sustainably sourced cocoa. And then more stuff on the back. I'm just going to get those images down because they're a little distracting. Can I group them? I don't even know. Can I group them somehow? Group? Oh, group. Yeah, cool. So then, if I do that, hey! I'm learning stuff. Yeah, no, so, blah, 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 probably can't read it because my setup is shit. So, Scientologist. Well, I have started a cult, so I've got to study from, like, some of the craziest. And you know, L. Ron Hubbard, I think, was, like, the most published author ever. I don't know if... I assume he still holds that record. Doesn't mean that what he, wrote was necessarily good. But he was the most published author, so... Yeah, but no, I gotta get my inspiration somewhere, right? Oh, are these magnetic, or is it just the... I'm just like, is this magnetic? Or is it just the geometry that's making it do that really satisfying click? It's coming on the side as well. It sounds like a magnet to me, but I could be wrong. This is really... Anyway, distracted. So, I was going to show you the 80% dark chocolate almonds. I'm a little bit scared because 80% dark is pretty... Does he force his followers to buy his books? Yeah. I do have one of his books. I haven't read it, but I got it from an op shop, so he didn't actually get any of my money. I think I only paid like $2 for it. One day I'll read it. But yeah. Anyway, reading the back. 80% dark chocolate almonds. Premium Australian almonds have been roasted to perfection and then generously coated with rich dark chocolate. This is a classic yet indulgent flavour combination made in Australia with sustainable... Cocoa dusted, and then this one is dark chocolate almonds. Which one is it then? Which one do you think this is? I forget what's in it. What's all the other? Oh, okay, the dark chocolate one is probably like the the, you know, the ones that have the stripies at the front, the dark ones. That looks dark chocolate, right? I do like Tom Cruise. He's fun. Because he's crazy, and he's so crazy that he does all those stunts because he thinks he's basically Jesus. Isn't he like a top-level OT? At least OT 8, I think. So, you know, you have beyond Jesus powers at that point, and that's why he can get away with doing all those stunts. Because he's a Scientologist. He has superpowers. He doesn't know that one day he's gonna die and they'll catch it all on film. I mean, eventually it would be stuff on the top left. What? So these are two different angles? What do you mean? Oh, eventually... Oh, you're just going to keep guessing top left until it actually is the top left one. Okay, that's fair enough. Anyway, so, yeah, dark chocolate. I'm a little bit scared. About 80% dark. But anyway, next up... Ta-da! There's a little book thingy! I don't really need this, but it's cute. I don't know what to write in it. Cult secrets, I guess. Oh, there we go. Where's my bin? Chuck out the plastic. Ah! Sorry, let me get rid of those again. Pretty obvious which one's the book, right? Book! Book. Actually, the cover is really nice. Did they say it was gonna be a fucking, like, suede? It feels like a kind of suede thing. Not that I know materials very well. But yeah, like, it's really kind of soft and like a light leathery feel. Got some gold edging, and so the paper is sort of like a light yellowy cream rather than a pure white. A book for counting calories. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that anytime soon. There's a little mark on one of the pages. That's alright, we'll fix that up. Yeah, I don't really know what to do with it. They are reasonably thick pages, though. Not hugely thick, but not too bad. So I'm not sure about how it would go for art. Oh, and there's a... You know, like, I could do little art things, but yeah, we've got a little pink. So not exactly my colour scheme. But, yeah, cute. Human skin. Okay, you just made this much more attractive with that suggestion. Yeah, you know me a little bit too well there. Cool, pink, whatever, book. I guess I will draw stuff in it. Make a list of my victims, or I don't know, something nice like that. Next up! Something a little bit different. The Woods Farm. Jarvis Bay. Caramelized peanut brittle. Does the book smell delicious? Not really. Maybe if I was hungry enough, I could survive on the pages. Yeah, caramelized peanut brittle. Rich caramelized brittle made with fresh Australian cream poured over crunchy roasted peanuts. And on the back. Looks like it's been a little bit damaged there. No, it's fine, but again, silver stuff. I didn't check the other one, did I? Yeah, no, it's all in foil. None of it's like plastic. Oh, it's the Truth merch. Anyway, I can't put it back together again. That's alright, It's kind of noisy. So... Welcome to the Woods Farm, Jarvis Bay, home to lush green farmlands, secret woodland walks, a family of charismatic peacocks, and Australia's finest brittle. Nestled near the ocean breezes of Huskisson Beach on the New South Wales south coast, the Woods Farm provides gourmet magic using the freshest and finest all-natural ingredients. Yada yada yada. Cool. Yeah. So, which one do we think this is? Oh, a bit of paper just fell off. Oh, I see how that works now. Which one do we think this is? Now I have to eat them. I think peanut brittle. I think it probably is the top left one, the one in the flowery pot. I think that's what this is. Maybe. Okay, next up. Banan! We have a different brittle. Morgan's, the classics. Buttery toffee cashew brittle. Huh? Next to the candle, yeah, well, there's two next to the candle. I mean, I suppose one's in front as opposed to next to it. Anyway, no, this one. Crunchy roasted cashews encased in caramelized buttery toffee. Blah, blah, blah. Lovingly made in Australia. Oh, that's short. Good. The lid is kind of exciting. Ah! That was a little bit more exciting than I was bargaining for. Look at that. Whee! And then it opens up and it's more silvery stuff. So, wow, that lid was deceptive. The little squares. Yeah, I think these ones are the darker ones in front of the candle. Next to the hamper box itself. I reckon that's what this is. Okay, and then the last thing. Another one of these crazy boxes with the wee lids. And we have French vanilla almonds, which I think this one's pretty obvious because there's only one that's white. And it's on that side. Fancy packaging. So, we've got, yeah, French vanilla almonds, premium Australian almonds roasted in a classic French vanilla flavour. Back again, also, yeah, lovingly made in Australia from local and important ingredients. And there's nothing else to show. So, cool. That is my Touch of Luxury hamper. And then I also have Fun Box. Woohoo! It goes flat. That's actually really clever in terms of, like, storing these things. I think there is a magnet in there. There must be a magnet in there. That's too satisfying to not be a magnet. There's two magnets, I reckon. Anyway, so, stuff and things, and maybe I'll just, like, shove them back in the box until I'm ready to eat everything. Maybe I'll, like, eat them in future streams. Yeah, it does sound magnetic. Just gonna pack it all clumsily, although I can keep the book around and it can just float around my life. Not sure what it's doing. I'll put it back in there. So I'm gonna sort of organize things. Cool. A touch of luxury. Dropping things everywhere. I suppose I could light the candle, but the last thing I need to do is live stream me burning the place down. Be ready to eat everything now. Oh god, I can't. I also, because I was sad, was it yesterday or the other day? I don't even remember. I also got some mini M&Ms. And I got some other chocolates too, but I've already eaten them all. But no, my local doesn't usually have these, so yay. I saw them, I'm like, I have to have them. What's your favourite dinosaur? Favorite dinosaur? Well, they're all fucking dead, aren't they? So they're kind of useless, right? I don't know if I have a favorite dinosaur. Probably a raptor, because, like, you know, we still have raptors today, sort of. Yeah, like those later dinosaurs we now think probably had feathers, so our entire childhoods were a lie, I guess. With Jurassic Park and whatever. What's my favourite? Power Ranger. I haven't watched Power Rangers in a long time. My favourite character, not necessarily Power Ranger, my favourite character well, this is childhood me. So having a disabled brother, that we used to get sent to like this siblings group, which I don't know, maybe it was supposed to be a support group or whatever. We just thought it was like kind of like a holiday camp kind of thing, or like a daycare holiday center. And then they would teach us stuff about chromosomes and whatever. Stuff that kids shouldn't have to know. But they got us doing like that visualizing meditation thing, and it's like, oh, you're in your secret garden or whatever, and there's a pathway and there's a bench, and you go and sit on your bench and your special friend is there, and imagine your special friend being there. And me being me, I imagine one of the bad guys from Power Rangers. I wonder if I can find it. Power Rangers villain. What would actually make it come up? Because my memory is probably changed as well. That looks like it, maybe. Goodness, he's ugly. Was this in like the original? Yeah, it was the Flytrap one. So let me copy image address. Oh, I'm such a messed up kid. I can't believe it took so long for anyone to realize I had serious mental illness. Do you guys know this guy? He's like a fly trap, and his like stomach opens up like that. And I'm reading the little page. Blah 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 blah. Kidnap someone, holds him for ransom. Wait, who's Lord Zed? I don't even remember, because that was such a long time ago. Oh, that was the main bad guy with the fun outfit. Yeah, anyway. So, like, I think this guy, like, eats them or something, somehow. My friend would be, I'm in his Power Rangers movie. So it eats children. No, I think it just, like, I don't know if it, like, shrunk them or something, but it somehow trapped them in the fly trap thing. And then, of course, like, it becomes a giant one as well. But it was such a long time ago, I don't actually remember what the deal with was. But that was the one that I was imagining. It looks a little bit different to what my memory remembers of it, but that was what I was thinking of. Unfortunately, with this, like, meditation shit, we didn't have to say any of this stuff. I was just, like, lying down in your corpse pose, and, that is the special friend I came up with. Like, legit. Child me. That early, like, I don't know, I never really, like, I did have friends as a kid, I just didn't give much of a shit, I guess. And I kind of just, like, went along with whatever, but I didn't feel super attached. So yeah, that's that. Let's remove that image, you don't need it anymore. Do we still need the Hamper image? Do you guys want me to leave that up, or can I delete it? I've also still, because I was rushing, I've still got, like, all my, me merch store images up here, that's left here. The designs. Is that the thing where I can... No? The shortcut. Oh, the shortcut still works. Hey, buy my shirts. Be a proper cult member. At some point I'll get rid of all the coloured ones. And yeah, my music. Listen to my music. I want to perform my solo stuff again. Like, I'm hoping my band will get on stage next year, but I also hope that I can do it with my solo project, seeing as I've got all the outfits and so on. Yeah, anyway, what time is it? 11:30. Oh, okay, we're doing alright for time, actually. That's not too bad. What now? What was I gonna rant about? Can I see my poll again? Skincare. Oh, skincare rant. I mean, you know, I'll probably make that short go live after this because I have another short after that I do want to post. But yeah, no, like with the skincare, so like I really tried to understand it. I've been in the Mecca Facebook group, and like I posted my own thing, was it yesterday or the day before? My sense of time is really messed up. I have no idea. Like, what day is it? It's Saturday. Okay. So I think, was it yesterday? I don't even remember what's going on with my life. But yeah, what was I talking about? Oh, give my brain a moment. And I need to blow my nose, because, like, I think sometimes when I talk, the vibrations just get in my nose and everything gets a little bit dislodged. You know, all the hay fever bullshit. I'm trying to get, like, more onto the hay fever, though, because I haven't been wearing much makeup lately. I just can't be bothered. I've been pretty tired, I've been going to bed late, and then I've been getting distracted. I was going to practice foundation today, but because I went to bed so late last night, and then stuffed around today. Shit, what happened today? Where's my psychology diary? What are my plans? Yes, the skincare thing, bit of a rant. I was looking up skincare stuff and deciding what to do with it. But then also I noticed, so I've been monitoring an item, like, you know, Punk Rave Australia, there was something on their website that I really wanted. But I was hoping that I could wait until Boxing Day and see if they had a sale, because it's kind of pricey. But then I also, like, when I put it in my cart on their website, it said there's only 3 left. And they might not be able to get it in. So they don't actually hold the stock because they're ordering it from China. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to see if I can figure out where their stock comes from. And I found the supplier's website, and I could actually see, I know it's the supplier because I can see, they've shared with me the, sort of the supplier stuff in the past because they wanted me to look at the items there, so kind of give them an idea of what they should order in and what did I want to try on, which was really nice of them. But yeah, I was able to find the same item on the supplier's website, and then I could see there, instead of there being 3 left, like I've been monitoring it for a few days, I had the Punk Rave Australia website bookmarked, and also the item that I wanted bookmarked on the supplier website, saying there's 3 left in my size. Today I logged in and there was only 1 left in my size, and so I had a bit of a panic, and then I was like, oh shit, I want to order this. But on the Punk Rave Australia website, to order things from China, you have to get $150 to get free shipping. So I was trying to look through, what else do I want? There's a fan that I've had my eye on for a long time, and then some other stuff, but like, you know, like there was a choker, but now that I've got this one from Luna Lollipop, I don't need a girly choker anymore because I like this one. I mean, it was an all black one, so if I don't want the red look, then maybe that would be okay, but don't really need it anymore. And yeah, so like trying to put things in my cart, I still needed more stuff because also they were giving me a 10% discount for like, I don't know, ordering. They says ordering with them the first time, which I know it's not the first time I ordered with them, but whatever. Anyway, so I spent ages looking at that, and then I thought, you know what, I'm just going to buy it direct from the supplier, because it turns out they have free shipping to Australia from their end, so, you know, what's the problem with Punk Rave Australia? I don't know. And then with Punk Rave Australia as well, when I checked today, they were not registering that there was only 1 item left. They still thought there were 3 left. So that tells me that their website is not actually that connected to the supplier. And if I ordered with them, it could sell out with the other guys, and then they would give me a refund, but then they would send me the rest of the items that I put in my cart to make up the $150, and I wouldn't get the one thing that I really wanted. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to just
go safe, order direct from the supplier. And I also threw the fan in, but I didn't worry about the choker, and there was this other choker that I put in. I just didn't worry about that, so I didn't have to spend $150. Now, the items all up did cost a bit more than if I'd ordered them at Punk Rave Australia, in part because Punk Rave Australia was selling one of them cheaper for some reason, but they were slightly more expensive on another one, and then they were offering a 10% discount, whereas on the other website, once I signed up, I made myself an account. I also, because I followed the manufacturer through that whole website, I've got a coupon from them to get a discount on what I'd put in my cart. But then, because they're based in China, they also had to charge GST, so there was an extra 10% tax on top. So the whole discount didn't exactly do very much except lessen some of the tax cost, I guess. But anyway, do you think China created the COVID virus? Well, it started in China. Whether I think that means it happened intentionally, I think that would be a bit stupid of China to intentionally create it. But I don't think that the lab leak theory is completely ruled out. But then also China is not exactly hygienic in those those markets either. So I don't think we'll ever find out what really happened. But we know it started there, one way or another. I don't know if that answers your question. But yeah. I have thought sometimes, is Punk Rave a brand I want to support given that they are so heavily China-based? But they're actually not 100% China. I think one of them was half Chinese, half Korean, one of the designers, or something like that, and I actually do like their stuff. And it's not the Chinese people I have a problem with, it's the Communist Party I have a problem with, so I don't mind supporting the people just trying to, make a living. I think it's a real shame that China's leadership is the way that it is. Have you been to PNG? No. I've only been to, places in Australia, Japan, and America. Those are the only places I've been. And I don't like traveling because, it's expensive. It's even more expensive to go places now. And sitting on a plane is not my idea of relaxing. And I have been on a cruise and I was not a fan of that either. Still haven't posted those vlogs. That's about 5 years old now. Yeah, anyway, so I lost a lot of my morning panicking over getting this item, but at least I didn't spend $150, to get the extra stuff. I think I spent a bit under $90 in the end. But I got the free shipping, and the difference in cost, so yes, it cost a little bit more to get it with these guys, but if I only bought those items from Punk Rave Australia, they would have charged me $28 in shipping. So, yeah, the discount I would have got with Punk Rave Australia would have been completely wiped out by shipping. And it would have been more expensive. So it was either buy extra shit I don't want or pay shipping. And I'm like, nah, it ends up working out cheaper to go with the supplier. And then because I ordered with the supplier, that stock now belongs to me and there is now zero stock and no one else is going to get my belt thingy. So yeah, that that took a while. And then I was still in my pajamas at 2 p.m. And yeah, so the next short that I'm going to post is a skincare thing, and then the short after that is how I convinced myself to, get dressed and go for a walk. No, I got dressed at 2, but about 5 o'clock I convinced myself to go for a walk, and you'll see how that went. And the skincare thing, I think I'm gonna make some women mad because I'm saying, fuck these items. So I could get a little bit of, I don't know, it depends on the shorts algorithm. If it pushes it out to the right people, I could cause some drama there. So that'd be fun. With how I convinced myself to go for a walk, that's going to perhaps attract a different type of drama, and you'll see what I mean. When that actually goes up. The only problem with that one though is because I used the shorts creator to just grab some music, and it's made it really loud compared to my other stuff, so be careful of that one when it comes out. Especially if you're a no headphones kind of person. But yeah, no, skincare. So like, you know, being in the Mecca Facebook group, yeah, no, I did post something yesterday, I think, and because like the Mecca staff are really nice, and I went in this full goth setup. I think I posted it publicly on my Facebook page. If you want to have a look at that, how can I link? I can probably link that too. Yeah. Oh, I didn't talk about the Mecca thing though. Oh no, that yesterday. No, yesterday wasn't Mecca. It was the day before. Okay, I've got completely lost track of time. Thursday. Okay. I think you should be able to see this publicly. Where is this? I don't know if that link works. Anyway, so that's how I turned up to Mecca. Full-on goth setup. And it was one of those, like, fancier Mecca stores. So, like, they've got Mecca Max, which is the ones that I've been going to most of the time. And then they've got Mecca Cosmeticas. And they're, like, the Mecca Max is sort of, you know, your 20 to 30-year-old age range products that are, like, not too expensive, depending on what you get. And it's kind of like a friendly atmosphere. Cosmetica, though, has, like, the really high-end skincare. And I was looking at the website. There's, like, this brand called La Mer, but if you look at it wrong, it looks like it says Lamer, which is kind of a, I don't know, a bit of a marketing fail. La Mer, Lamer. And one of the things, to get like a 15 ml thing of it, which is tiny, I think cost like $170, and then to get a proper 200 ml tub was like $2,000 or something ridiculous like that. And so Cosmetica stocks that kind of ridiculously overpriced product. So anyway, like going into there, you know, I wanted to check it out because I hadn't been into a Cosmetica before, and so I went in and I was a bit like, you know, in that full-on goth setup, I thought, you know, they probably wouldn't take me seriously because I look like such a freak show. But they were actually really nice. Like, everyone asked me if I needed help, and then there was this one older lady who actually asked me, you know, she said she really liked my makeup with, like, the black eyes and the black lips, and she had a goth event that she needs to do makeup for 70 people, apparently, and someone had shown her a reference image that looked like Harley Quinn or something, and so she was looking at me like, that's such a, like, you know, how did you do it? And she was asking, like, so older lady on the Mecca staff asking me for advice on goth makeup, and I hadn't done any foundation or any shit like that. It was just eyes and lips and trying to cheer myself up a bit. And then there was another lady, a younger lady on staff who asked me about my lipstick and where did I get it, because she'd never seen one so dark and blah blah blah. We had a great chat too. Everyone there was really nice, so that was a interesting experience. But yeah, no, like, so the Mecca staff, like, it's a really comfortable place to shop, which is surprising because I know so little about makeup, and I was super intimidated the first time I went in, just knowing how little I belong. But anytime I go, the city store is, like, I went on a Saturday that was super busy, so, you know, they were a bit more flat out, but all the other stores, yeah, they seem really nice. Anyway, so yeah, I like Mecca, but I joined, a while back I joined their Facebook group, and I've just, like, been watching all the questions that go on there, and it's not just about makeup, it's also about skincare, and just, like, some of the things that these ladies are doing and saying, and they're posting their morning and nighttime routines, and I'm just like, holy shit, who has time for this? Like, I thought chicks spent enough time doing their makeup, but it turns out the whole skincare thing is an ordeal as well. Like, for me, it's kind of just like, you know, a bit of pimple cream, a bit of moisturizer, you're done. But they do the whole, like, you know, you cleanse, and then there's, like, toner, and there's serums for various different perceived issues with their faces. God knows what else, and moisturizers, and they all use sun creams, and like, you know, sun cream, okay, great, but does it have to be fancy sun cream? And you've already got so many layers of stuff, and so I've been like, yeah, anyway, so with Mecca, they gave me, you know, every time you buy something, almost every time you buy something, you might get a sample of something, and, you know, I show you some of the samples in that short, but I have been trying really hard, when I got that, you know, that stuff that takes off the makeup really well, I made that video about that, and the first step is the first step is the balm, but then there's the blueberry stuff, and the blueberry stuff, when I was buying it, she was like, here's some samples of the hyaluronic acid, and you have it between that balm, the blueberry thing, the cleansing, that cleanser. Between that and the rest of your routine and your moisturizer, you use the hyaluronic acid, and it's supposed to, like, be hydrating or whatever the heck. First dose twice a week showers. There is a part of my short that you specifically will like, but it's in text, so you got to pay attention to what you're watching. Yeah, anyway, so she was saying use that, and it's meant to be hydrating and blah blah blah, and I was like, you know, I don't think I need that, but they're free, so I will take them, and I will try them, and yeah, I did start trying the hyaluronic acid, and so, but it's like, you know, you're supposed to use it twice a day, and you're supposed to clean your face first, because if you don't clean your face first, I think it, like, draws stuff deeper into your skin, so if you've got crap on your skin, it might draw some of that deeper, and so you've got to wash your face before you use it, and so I'm like, okay, I'll be a good girl, I'll wash my face twice a day, and then I use the hyaluronic acid, exactly how they said, and I also looked up advice, where you, like, you know, you're supposed to have a damp face because it attracts water, and if you don't do that, then it'll attract water out of your skin so you need extra water there that it can use to hydrate your skin or some shit like that. I don't know. Doesn't really make sense to me. I feel like if you're using something like that and it's going into your skin and it absorbs so much water, is it not gonna just take it from your skin? But whatever, apparently it's supposed to, like, help keep your face hydrated or whatever. I had a really good go of doing that. So washing my face twice a day, using the hyaluronic acid twice a day, and then doing my, you know, pimple cream and the face moisturizer, like, twice a day is a lot for me. I think with all the makeup stuff, like, I was starting to do it at night, having the pimple cream and the moisturizer every night. I don't know if I don't remember if I was doing it in the morning as well. You are supposed to moisturize before doing the makeup stuff, so I was doing that. But whether I was doing it consistently, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I did that for almost a week. I'm sort of going off my psychology notes, so I think it was about a week, or close to a week. Maybe one day off a week. I don't know. You're supposed to see results in a week anyway, and I didn't, and it just kind of made my face feel dry. And I think it's because, like, you know, when you wash your face produces its own oils, and if you wash it, you just take all the oil away. It's like with washing your hair. Every time you shampoo your hair, it just strips out the oils. That's why you need conditioner, to put the oils back. So, you know, maybe, like, facial moisturizers are like that as well. But my face is just not used to being cleaned that much, not used to having all the oil stripped out that much. And so I think that might be, like, maybe it's not the hyaluronic acid that's drying me out. Maybe it's just the amount of washing that my skin is not used to. So yeah, I talk about that in this short, and how I'm just not gonna bother. I ended up giving all my samples to Mum. You know, there was also, like, this anti-aging thing, and it's got 3 different compartments, and I looked up the full price of the product is like $200. And I looked up what's in it. It has 3 segments. One of them is hyaluronic acid. Another one is, like, vitamin C and something else starting with an N. And then there was so I think that is for, like, brightening dark spots on your skin, or I don't know, who cares? You know, like, I mean, I guess I don't have any major problems, so, you know, maybe that's privileged of me to dismiss it. Like, I do have, there's, like, these little spots where the blood vessel is, like, kind of broken towards the surface. I've got little things like that, and I've got little white spots occasionally I think around the eyes, I think that's one. But, I asked my doctor about them. She said they're not a problem, so niacinamide. Yeah, that's the one! You're freaking me out that you know this stuff. Maybe you were a chick all along and I've just assumed that you're male because most of my audience are male. I don't know. Or maybe you just, know stuff. Yeah, and then there's also another thing, which was some kind of acid that is to prevent skin damage and oxidization or some shit like that. It's some triple serum. Anyway, anti-aging stuff. I ended up just, I looked it up. I'm just I don't want to put any more funky stuff on my face. So I ended up just giving it all to Mum. And then I thought, the last little sample that I got is an oil-free moisturizer, and I use oil-free moisturizer. Has to be oil-free because I used to get such bad acne. But I thought, okay, that sample should be okay. Now, I didn't film this. This is after I filmed the short, I tried it just a little bit. But as soon as I squeezed it onto my hand, I could see it was super thick compared to what I'm used to. And, I did it. I rubbed it on and all that. And I just was the first thing that struck me was the smell. Really didn't like the smell. I was ugh. Now, I'm not really good at describing smells. And it didn't smell exactly like this, but it reminded me of the arse end of a banana. Yeah. So, I don't know, it didn't smell like that, it's just what that reminded me of, and I didn't like that. And it, I've had it on, I didn't wash it off straight away, because I thought I haven't actually washed it off at all. I thought I've got to try and give it a chance, but even now, many hours later, especially on the forehead, it doesn't feel like it completely absorbed into my skin. And I guess some chicks probably like that feeling so that it feels like something is there. But to me, it just feels a little bit slightly gross. I can still feel it there. It hasn't completely absorbed. It just sort of, I think it finally has along the cheeks, not so much down here. But yeah, or along the forehead, and I'm just I don't like that feeling, and it makes me nervous, because if it's that thick, how do I know it's not going to give me more acne, and blocking pores, or I don't know, but really the smell is what really killed it for me, and so, yeah, I gave the rest, I gave the rest to Mum, because there's still plenty in there. Now, I can kind of see if the hyaluronic acid routine was drying out my face, maybe a thicker moisturizer like that is good, because it did help bring back some of the moisture, but in a kind of a gross way. I just want to go back to my regular routine of mostly not washing my face unless it really needs it, if I've had makeup on, and then just being lazy and having the moisturizer and stuff. Yeah, no, I gave it to my mum. I'm just and then I've got this rose water stuff that someone gave me. I don't even know what it's really for. Let me grab it. They might have given it to me for my 30th, or I don't know, some kind of birthday probably. Rose water balancing mist. A refreshing mist to hydrate and soften. Lightly mist onto face or mist into hands and gently press onto the skin. And, yeah, it's supposed to be refreshing and hydrating even on top of your makeup. To me, it's just a nice smelling spray. I don't know what it does. I don't think it does anything. I mean, I suppose it says it expired in February 2020. So if it had an effect, maybe that effect is gone, but the smell is still there. Still smells really nice. Anyway, I don't know what it does. If someone can explain, instead of just these websites insisting that it does something that I'm not experiencing. Whatever. It's just a nice smelling spray. Can't you just market it as a nice smelling spray? And in a hot summer, instead of just misting yourself with a water bottle, which some people do to try and help cool down, why not mist yourself with some rose water? Or be a little bit fancy. Cool down with some rose water instead of regular water, because you are a fancy person who is blurred out. I don't know, it's just like the marketing of it, I'm a bit like, But yeah, so after, like, to get rid of the smell, I sprayed myself with this and then with like a little bottle of perfume, which I will show you when I finally get around to making a video about all this sensory therapy shit that I'm doing for myself, with smells and stuff. But yeah, one of them is like, it strongly reminds me of the perfume section in David Jones. So when I was testing them, I only sprayed them here, but then this one I'm like, no, I'm doing wrists and I'm doing a decent spray there, and that got rid of the smell. And I can still smell the perfume, and it's actually nice. When it first goes on, it smells a bit too strong, like a David Jones perfume section, but once it settles, and I guess mixes with my own scent, it smells nice, and it smells a lot better than the shit that I put on my face. But yeah, tonight I'm going to moisturize with my regular moisturizer. I'm not going to wash my face. I'll just, like, spot where the pimples usually come up, especially if I feel anything weird happening from that cream. I think I'm alright. But I did sort of feel like it was quite thick around here where I usually get pimples and on my chin, and it just, for a while, felt a little bit bad, like I might get pimples there. So I chuck some pimple cream on that, chuck my regular moisturizer on because my face still feels a little bit dry. I think part of the problem as well is, like, we had really hot weather and then suddenly it got really cold. Like some days it's like, high 30s temperatures, or, bordering on 40 degrees, and then all of a sudden, I think there was one day it didn't even break 20 as a maximum. It was like 19 or 18 degrees, depending on where you are in Sydney. It's just like such an extreme, and I think when you have that sudden cold, the moisture comes out of the air. It has been raining, and it has been a little bit more humid than it would be in winter, but I think the temperature change didn't help with the whole hyaluronic acid thing. And all the washing my face too much, and my face just, I don't think it liked it. I don't think my face liked it. So I'm gonna, I'll just get back onto the moisturizer a bit more. Tomorrow is Sunday. Technically today it just hit midnight. It's Sunday now, officially. So I will have a shower. And then I will moisturize after I shower. Because, obviously all the oils have been stripped out. So I've got to put them back, but not oil. Oil-free moisturizer. Anyway, it's just like with the skincare, so like the routines that these chicks go through, and then some of the things they're writing about that they're concerned about. Occasionally they'll post a picture and it's like, okay, maybe you should see a dermatologist about that, or just your GP can give you... I don't understand why they ask the group for advice on products. Like, why not just go to an actual medical source if you have a bad issue like that? And then sometimes people are worrying about things that are just like a natural part of your face, a natural part of aging, a natural part of existing in the world, and you're going to cover it up with makeup anyway, so why do you care? It's just kind of bizarre, and the amount of money some of them are spending. I mean, one of them had a sense of humor about the amount she was spending because she had the money. She still thought it was ridiculous, but it was kind of like, she admitted it was kind of an ego thing for herself. People asked for a before and after picture of her using all these products, and she said, sure, and showed like a wallet full of money, and then for the after picture showed the wallet empty of money. I don't know, okay, good. At least you have a sense of humor about it, but some of these chicks are so, they're so serious about it all, and nitpicking stuff, and then they talk about getting their kids into it, and apparently all the kids are watching skincare content on TikTok. So you've got 9-year-olds who want to get, like, anti-aging stuff, and it's like, you're 9! You're not even, like... You haven't even finished through all the puberty stuff. I know puberty is earlier than it used to be, but you haven't even gotten through all that. You don't need anti-aging stuff, you kidding? And then the parents are enabling them, saying, oh, my kid, what skincare product should I get for my kid? It's just, it's crazy, and I don't understand it. And, like, if you have bad acne, go to your doctor and get the proper stuff instead of going to a makeup shop and hoping that all these things that randoms on the internet are telling you will work. It's just, I don't get it. It's bizarre. Anyway, so, like, I don't understand it. But also, with the whole, like, privilege thing, I do have the good genetics, like the sort of Japanese thing going on there. I got badly sunburned on my back as a kid, so I have been very sun averse ever since. I'm basically a vampire as well. Vampires stay young. Apart from when I'm on like YouTube or actually socializing, I can be pretty expressionless because I can just sit at home, I don't know, on the computer. Maybe if it's really funny, I might giggle. But mostly I think I'm probably just expressionless when I'm not performing for the outside world. And because I don't socialize very much, and there's only so much YouTubing I can do, I spend most of my time not making facial expressions. And I think not making facial expressions, your face doesn't, like if I smile a lot, you can see where all these lines start going, and you solidify them. So if you're expressionless, or if you're worried a lot, how do you, then you can get the lines up there. That was not a very good worried face. I don't know how to do that. Anyway, no, I think there's some of that. The fact that I'm indoors a lot and I don't go out in the sun very much. The Australian sun is really bad for your skin. We have one of the highest rates of skin cancer in the world. Not the highest rate of death, because we have a good healthcare system and a lot of research is going into that kind of stuff. But yeah, we have some of the highest rates of skin cancer in the world, because the sun is horrific here. Like, I was so shocked when I went to America and I was able to walk on a beach without sun cream, and like the sun didn't even feel hot. Now, it was in the middle of winter, but this is in LA, and LA doesn't get the same kinds of winters as the rest of America. So it's still quite warm out, but the sun itself wasn't warm, whereas when you go out into the sun here, the sun actually, like, on your skin feels like burning. Very light burning, but it feels like burning. And also Australia has like a strong beach culture and people like to be out and about, and so of course they get a lot of sun, and a lot of people will, especially when they're young, think they're cowboys, not put on enough sun cream, maybe put it on once and then forget to reapply as it's wearing off, and just people spending a lot of time outdoors. That's really bad for your skin. Not just for cancers, but just for general damage. So I spend a lot of time indoors and just don't get that. I already mentioned the genetic lottery. There's all that combination. And so I think that's... And also, like, me not using makeup and not using all those products. I mean, maybe I will start to age now that I've started to do more stuff with all the foundation and whatever. But, I'm sort of getting to that age where I should reasonably start to age soon. Haven't seen any... I do have some brown regrowth, but I haven't spotted any grey hairs yet. English genetics can't be much help either. Yeah, there's a lot of white people in Australia. And if you notice, like, with the indigenous population, they were dark-skinned for a reason, I reckon, because that's what you need to survive the Aussie sun. Now, of course, Australia got even worse with the ozone layer. The hole in the ozone layer decided to park itself over Australia, so it's probably even worse nowadays. I know it's been healing, but yeah, we've had a bit of that. So all these, like, pasty white people going out and having a sun-kissed life, and then the skin just can't cope. There's something interesting about Japanese skin. It might be Asian skin in general, but, what was that noise? Or was that just my ear going a bit weird? Definitely with Japanese skin, maybe with Asian skin in general. I think my mum saw a dermatologist a while back or something like that, and they said that, there aren't any cases of skin cancer in Japanese or something like that. So Asian skin, despite being lighter, is more resistant than white people's skin to the sun. And so I do look white, but maybe I got some of that Asian stuff to help. English don't tan, they go full lobster. Move to Canada, problem solved. Canada does have the nuclear reactors going on, at least. Whereas nuclear energy is banned here. But yeah, no, I can tan. So I don't have all Dad's white genetics. But yeah, no. Like, if it's done badly, I burn. But if I'm wearing enough sun cream, and if it's gentle enough, I tan. But then I spend a lot of time indoors, and I just end up white and pasty again. Which works with the whole goth vampire thing. Yeah, so, like, I'm probably lucky or accidentally successful in appearing younger than I am. And oh my god, when I posted in that group about my experience of like going in goth, you know, I thought I would try and stir up the Mecca Facebook group and post my goth photos, but to get it approved, I had to say nice things about Mecca. And, like, genuinely, Mecca's a nice place to shop. Like, I actually feel like they give a shit. Probably also, they see me, like, with all the goth stuff, and they're like, goths like their makeup. And so, you know, there's that. Yes, I don't look like their usual client base, and a lot of goths do go for cheaper products. But, on the other hand, goths do use a fair bit of makeup, so I guess I'm not completely out of place there. But I think it's also the suburb, conservative suburb, high-end store. I was just a bit like, Anyway, no, I did write about, like, how nice they were and the compliments I got and blah, blah, blah. I don't think I used the word inclusive, but a lot of people in the comments were like, I love how inclusive it is. But yeah, I thought I would try and stir up a bit of something by putting my goth photos in there. Where was I going with that story? Cool story, Hansel. Okay, so I posted those pictures in the Mecca Facebook group. And then there was this one comment that came up. Because, like, everyone was being really supportive. I did get, like, there was one dude who just wrote, you know, WTF, but I think admin must have removed his comment because it wasn't supportive. I don't know. Because I can't find it now. Unless I just, you know, sometimes Facebook hides things anyway. But, yeah, no. All the ladies were really supportive, and they're like, oh, you know, you be you, don't be afraid to be alternative, don't tone yourself down, like, you know, express yourself, blah, blah. But then this one chick comes along and is like, you know, the same kinds of stuff, but then she says, oh, yeah, you know, I also did the heavy black eyeliner when I was a teenager, blah, blah, blah. I forget how they worded it, but it later occurred to me that maybe they thought I was a teenager. Because there are still people who think I'm a teenager. And also, to dress that way is kind of immature. Or at least, like, you know, mainstream society sees it as immature. Like, it's a thing you do when you're young, not when you're in your mid-30s and you should have your life together and you should be, like, dressing more normally and fitting in and having the right image for your job, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, you know, the way I look plus the way I dress probably comes across as younger than I am, but I would think, like, you know, maybe early 20s at the youngest. But no, there's still people who think I'm teenagers, and I wonder if that lady thought I was a teenager, especially because, like, I did mention in my post that I was only wearing eyeliner and lipstick. I wasn't, like, so implying that I'm not wearing any foundation or concealer or all the other shit. I don't know if any of them picked up on that, but maybe, like, thinking, oh, that's your natural skin and you look great and blah, blah. You know, younger people tend to have better skin, assuming they're not going through acne. Anyway, I just thought, I didn't want to ask, because then I would have to talk about my actual age, and I don't want to frighten them too much, because these ladies, like, they put so much effort into taking care of their skin, and then I come along looking like a teenager, potentially, to some of them. And it turns out I'm 35, and then they'd be like, what do you do to keep your skin like that? And I'm like, bitch, I'm a vampire. That's the easiest way to explain it. But, like, you know, I don't know, that would be kind of an awkward thing to be like, yeah, I do literally nothing. I just sort of won the genetic lottery, stay out of the sun. I don't know. I feel like maybe that would be upsetting for some of them if they put so much effort into something that comes naturally to me or accidentally to me. It would be kind of amusing, but I'm not really there to cause that much drama. But yeah, just like when I realized that maybe they think I'm a teenager, and maybe that also explains the amount of support that I was getting, because if they knew that I was dressing like that and I'm 35 and I'm writing as if I'm super insecure, maybe they wouldn't be as supportive. Whereas if I come across as a teenager and they're like, oh, aren't you cute, the maternal instincts, oh, you poor child, you know, you do you be you, go out into the world and do your thing. And then it turns out I'm old and creaky and actually I have severe mental illness. Would they be so supportive? Maybe, some of them would be, but some others might be like, oh, you're 35 and you're still doing that? I don't know. just some thoughts and kind of an interesting experience. What do you want to be when you grow up? Well, I failed at everything, haven't I? No, I guess, like, music is probably the next thing that I hope will actually go somewhere for me, just to get back on stage. Not necessarily as a job, because I've shown that I can't do the job. And do you remember how I said, a while back, like, I was thinking of becoming a vocal coach, but I realized that teaching people is also a job, and I don't think I could commit to taking on regular students. There's something that, like, I don't know, I can do things for myself, and I can entertain myself, and, like, you know, I'll do things for a bit, but I'm very chaotic, and I lose interest in things so quickly, and I have to keep changing and doing my own thing, otherwise I get bored. So, like, for me to commit to teaching someone, and then for money, I just can't, I don't think I can do that. Like, in the same way that I couldn't do the bonsai job, I don't think I can do a teaching music job either. Not, maybe as a one-off. Maybe I could do it as a one-off. But, like, you know, I've thought about teaching for a long time. Like, I could do little group lessons up at the local, you know, the local college. They have one where just, like, you know, locals randomly teach people stuff. I could start my own little group course there, or I could do one-on-one lessons, especially now I've got the studio space. You know, people could come here and I could teach people. But when I actually think about setting it up and what it all involves, I'm just like, I fucking can't do it. And, you know, involving money in it as well. I don't know. Like, it's hard to get my head around why work is so difficult for me, because, like, logically it doesn't seem like it should be that way, but then when it actually comes to the practicalities, somehow I can't do it. I used to be able to do it, but, like, as more time has gone on, it's gotten harder and harder for me to do jobs. And then, you know, I got the bonsai job, and I thought this is great. You know, I'm doing something that's a hobby for me anyway. I get to do creative stuff, there's problem-solving stuff. It was a bit physically difficult because, you know, I've got, like, I could go on testosterone and that would not be fixed. Like, I'm just a stringy thing. So the heavy stuff is difficult. And then I've got shit eyesight, so the detailed stuff, like, I get headaches from. So there is that aspect. But otherwise, like, I am doing things that I would, like, you know, it's one of my hobbies, but to do it, like, consistently and for the 8-hour days or even the 4-hour days, like, if you watch my bonsai streams, I'm only going for, like, 1 to 3 hours, and then I'm just like, I'm fucking done, I can't do any more. So, you know, the shortest shift I used to do was a 4-hour shift, usually 8 hours, and I just can't manage it consistently. And then just sort of getting into these ruts, and also, like, well, waking up early was hard because I'm not a morning person. I guess there's, like, a lot of physical aspects, but it kind of also ties into my mental health, because people do difficult jobs in not exactly ideal conditions all the time, but for some reason I can't do it. And you know, if I try and force myself to do these things, I end up super depressed and, you know, wanting to not be here anymore. And I really want to not go to hospital. I would rather be unemployed than in hospital. So yeah, that's the thing. Because hospital sounds like the worst place for me, especially, like, when they do group therapy. God. It was hard enough going to art school and listening to all them talk about stuff and getting off topic, and then I've got to listen to other people's problems. I'm just like, can't do it. Can't fucking do it. Anyway, no, I don't understand why it's so hard for me to do jobs, but I guess I'm just that chaotic a person, and yeah, as time has gone on and my psychology's deteriorated, it's just become that much harder to manage. And so, you know, if I can't do a bonsai job, what kind of job can I do? I don't even know. And, you know, I'm, like, lucky in the sense that I'm living with my parents and they don't mind me being here. And, you know, if I got into financial trouble, they would help me out. So there's that. But let's say I didn't have that. If I had to make money to survive, I think I would just die. Because, like, the idea of working hard to make money just to survive when I don't even want to be here, Like, really, I'm not enjoying my life. Like, I'm making the best of it that I can because I'm here and I don't like pain, and I don't like the idea of, like, you know, if I tried to take myself out but fucked it up, then I'd be injured and people would be hovering over me, and that would make life even worse, but then I would, you know, it would be a lot harder to try again, kind of thing. I don't want to be in that situation. So because I'm stuck here, and because society, especially in, like, I know in some European countries, they now allow euthanasia for people with, you know, severe mental illness problems, but we don't have that here in Australia. We only just legalized euthanasia for, you know, terminal illnesses. I would argue that some mental illnesses are terminal, kinda. But yeah, anyway, because society doesn't give me a nice way out, and I don't like my other options, and we also don't have guns here. I mean, we do have guns, but it's hard to get your hands on them. You stick around for my comments. Sure, we'll say that. I'm also still waiting for my $10 million, thank you very much. Anyway, no, because I'm stuck here, you know, I make the best of it. But if I was required, you can't have a cult without a cult leader. You're not even in the cult unless you've got, like, a different name that I don't know about and you're secretly in it. I actually do have a lot of stuff, a lot of photos to post in the cult. Because, like, you know, I've been doing all those Instagram things, right? There's a lot of stuff in there where the photos actually liked them, but I can't possibly post everything, and maybe there was, like, something slightly off, or maybe it wasn't the mood that I wanted to go for. There's some of them where it's more of a destroyer-y look, and I'm like, that's not really what I want to put out there at this point in time. Anyway, I've got heaps of stuff to put on my cult, on my Patreon, when I get around to it. But fortunately, my cult members are not too fussed if I take my time. It's more a way of supporting me, and then occasionally you get bonuses. Whereas, like, the important thing is not to make Patreon overtake the rest of my whatever it is that I'm doing. Anyway, no, with the whole, like, if I didn't have the support that I have, you know, to be able to live here, pretty comfortably, if I didn't have that, and if I had to make money to survive, I think I would just die. Like, realistically, I wouldn't be able to. I would just, like, go sit in a gutter, wait for myself to starve to death. I can deal with a certain level of hunger. And, you know, as I said, I think yesterday, I haven't managed to put on the weight since, you know, my dog's first seizure, and then I was too busy looking after him and too stressed to eat properly. And then, yeah, there were some days after that where I was too sad to keep eating, getting a little bit sad again now. But, you know, like, I've done better eating, but I realized I've been spending more time being hungry, and instead of eating things when I'm hungry, I'm just like, ah, shit, hey. Because that's how I used to be. I used to, like, really struggle with my appetite, and just, I think, you know, I would be hungry and I'd just not feel like eating, so I'm kind of used to being a little bit hungry, so I probably could starve myself to death. And then, you know, there's a certain point where I know I haven't eaten enough, and I start getting lightheaded, and it'll take me a while to realize that I haven't eaten enough. And so, like, there's probably a point where I'd be so hungry that I'd just be completely out of it, and someone would have to take me to the hospital, and then they'd have to look after me that way anyway, and so I still wouldn't be working. So either I'd be in hospital or dead, basically, if I didn't have all this. So kind of depressing, but that's like a realistic. I know I present well on camera a lot of the time, and people will talk to me and I seem normal and fine, depending. I mean, there's been days where things have been bad enough that I haven't been able to act like that, but there's no Walmart here. There's no Walmart here, and I've done retail. Retail is horrible. I've done enough retail in my life. So, yeah, no, I live in Australia. We don't have Walmart. And Walmart sounds shit, and I don't know, working conditions in the US sound shit, so I'd probably do even worse if I was in America. No, my job, so my first job was McDonald's. I think that year I also worked at one of the elections, which was just like a one-day thing, but it was a really long shift. People were like, you get such good money, but then I'm like, yeah, but per hour, once I worked it out, per hour, it wasn't that great. It was just like normal wages, basically. McDonald's, that election thing. Then I did Kodak Express. I also did Santa photography. I did office works, print and copy, mostly. Are those all the retail things? I don't know. It's on LinkedIn. You fucking stalk me and find out. And then at some point I ended up working for the place Dad used to work for, as a sample coordinator, and then a few years later I did online work, and oh my god, my brain, once while I was learning it, it was not so bad, but once I learned it and got really good at it, I started dissociating while I was working because it was so boring, and my brain would just melt out my ears, and I went into this full-on robot zombie mode, and it was really starting to get uncomfortable and distressing in that kind of a weird way. Work as a lonely night watchman. So I don't really know what Five Nights at Freddy is, because every time I see it, it's so ugly, and I don't like, with cartoons as well, if it's ugly, like there's that popular one, Rick and Morty, I cannot watch it because it's so ugly. Same with One Piece, even though it's Japanese, but I don't like that art style. If it's ugly, I can't watch it. Just I refuse to watch something that fugly. So, yeah, but no, night jobs, right? You've got to remember, by the way, that I am a small female. A lot of night jobs are probably not appropriate to me, especially night guards and so on. I am intimidating no one. Even when I dress up and I look like an absolute freak show, my dad still worries that I'm gonna, someone's gonna come after me, and I'm like, Dad, I am the freak that everyone is freaking out about. Sometimes if I dress up enough, I'll sit on the bus and people won't want to sit next to me because I look like such a nutcase. Because I am a nutcase. They just don't realize that I'm not actually a nutcase who is likely to be violent towards them in any way. I'm more likely to be the victim of violence. Because yes, I have a black belt in Taekwondo. I don't have any dans, but I have the basic black belt. But have you seen my arms? Look at this. There is nothing in that. That is not going to... Okay, yes, I have a bit more in my legs, and that's why Taekwondo is a good martial art for a female, because your legs are where all the mass is and where all the muscle is. So kicking people is more effective than trying to punch someone with this. Can you imagine? If I got a really lucky angle, maybe, but I'm more likely to damage myself than to damage the other person. So, a lot of those night jobs, you got to think about the safety aspect. As a small female, even if you're a small male, right? A small male is still going to have more muscle than a small female. How small am I? Well, my height is about 165 centimeters. I think that's roughly 5'5" in American. I forget. And then weight-wise, well, I haven't been eating as much, so I'm back down to 50. I haven't weighed myself in... maybe a week or so. Maybe tomorrow I'll weigh myself, but because I don't care about my weight enough to, and also my parents have the scales upstairs and I have to go upstairs and that's some exercise, and I don't exercise enough. But anyway, no, I'm about 50 kilos. Before Hope's crisis, the seizures and all that, I was managing to maintain 52, and then there was a period of time where I was snacking. I got up to about 54. I think 54 is about the most I've weighed, maybe 55. I don't know. But yeah, around about 50. Do you have one of those rubber training dummies? No. My brother did have a, he's moved out now. My brother did have a punching bag, and it was so, it's like, you might as well just punch a brick. Are you kidding? It was terrible. Yeah, no. I'm just, look at this. Are you kidding? There's nothing here. Nothing here. I'm too small. Not an extra small in fashion brands. I'm usually a small. Although, sometimes medium is more comfortable because I like a little bit of... I do like a little bit of bagginess. And sometimes they design shirts with really small neck holes. I hate that. Give me a big neck hole, for fuck's sake. No, unfortunately I'm just small, so physically there's stuff that I cannot, it's not realistic to do, and I know a lot of schizoids are like, oh, do night jobs. I'm like, bitch, please! Maybe for a dude that works. And I know that males tend to be more affected by being schizoid in that way, so it probably does suit male schizoids better to have those night jobs. And I know that not much happens when you're doing those things, but if something happened, what am I gonna do with this? What? They're not They're not going to give me any weapons, not with mental illness and a history of depression and suicidal ideation. They're not going to give me that to defend myself. Like, what, a baton? What am I going to do? Hit people with it? With these muscles, like, these muscles are still behind whatever the hitting thing is. They'll just, like, grab it off me and be like, what are you doing? You gotta be realistic, you know? I don't understand why you want muscles. No, it's not that I want muscles. It's that if you wanted me to do a night job, I would need something going on, you know? Like, I'm physically, you could snap me in half just by staring at me the wrong way, because I am that small. So can you imagine, I'm doing like, you know, let's say that I'm guarding someplace, I'm a night guard, and someone decides they're going to cause trouble. Do you really think that I'm going to be able to stop them? My best bet in surviving that interaction is to run the fuck away. This is one of the things you learn about in martial arts is, like, fighting is your last resort, right? You've got to try and escape. If you can't escape, you know, try and de-escalate. If you can't de-escalate, try and draw attention so that someone will come and help you, and maybe you'll scare the other person off. You know, fighting is your last resort, and especially for someone my size, my best bet in any kind of confrontation is to get the fuck out of there. Just remove myself from the situation. You know, like, I have learned some of the fighting dirty stuff. We did that in high school twice, and they thought that we wouldn't remember it in year 10, but my memory's better than that. So eyes, nose, throat, and groin, foot, no. So apart from the martial arts. But yeah, like, I'm just not physically, like, I did do tournaments as well, and I did win a tournament once in the martial arts, but I won it by default because both of my, so this is like one of those tournaments where everyone's guaranteed a trophy, so there's only like 4 people in each round, so you're guaranteed a bronze. If you make it to the next one, you're guaranteed a silver. If you win, you get a gold, right? I got gold because both my opponents in that set, they were both bigger than me because I'm always the smallest chick doing a martial art. Small chicks tend not to do a lot of this stuff because they quickly learn that it's not going to work out. But yeah, no, they were both bigger and taller than me, and they, in the middle of the fight, because they were bigger and taller than me, they went for a kick and it got me in the head by accident. And at that level of tournament, headshots were illegal. I know that you can do them in higher levels, but at that level, it's a no-no. So they got disqualified, and that's how I came first in this taekwondo tournament. And then my school heard about it, but they didn't realize that everyone's guaranteed a trophy and that I won by default. So they made me into like this sporting hero, whereas I was the nerd in school. You know, it was just like, it was the funniest thing. Because like they all knew that I was the maths nerd, but then they're hearing this stuff about how I'm an amazing martial artist. Oh, I got my black belt and I won a tournament and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, but have you heard the details? And even with my black belt grading, because it was at the school, like, it was a bit chaotic because a lot of the younger kids from the junior school were also in that class. And so, you know, you're supposed to do combat kinds of things, like non-contact combat. And, you know, one of the things that they did is they just set all the little kids off chasing me, and I couldn't really get many kicks in because I know that kids are unpredictable, and so if I went in to try and do a non-contact kick but one of the kids moved in the wrong way, I might actually get them, and so I had to just, like, run away, basically. And I know that having restraint is part of the whole martial artist thing, but oh my god. Why do you focus so much on potential physical conflicts? They usually want to intimidate you, a gun in your handbag. Look, guns are not that big in Australia. You know, you have to get particular licenses, and I wouldn't qualify because I have severe mental illness. I did do shooting at a shooting range, and they did want to get me into the sport, but I don't know if the laws got tightened or anything, but yeah, that would have been a terrible idea for me to be able to have a gun, because I would be more likely to turn it on myself than to use it in self-defense. That's just a realistic thing. I think also, like, those sprays, capsicum sprays, I think are not really legal here either. Now, on the upside, you know, people aren't going to shoot you or spray you with shit here. But yeah, like, why do I focus so much on potential physical conflicts? Because if I was doing one of those night jobs, you have to be prepared for that. It's a realistic thing. It's part of your job. So when people suggest that I do these kinds of jobs, I'm like, that's not realistic. Like, you know, if you asked me to be the bouncer at a nightclub, No! That's not gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna do a job and there's a certain element of your job that you need to do, like, I wouldn't even get hired because of my physique. They would be worried about my safety. Like, how am I supposed to, like, watch out for trouble when I'm the one most likely to get into the trouble? I need to remove myself from that situation. Like, it's a logical thing. I don't know. Like, if you're a dude, maybe this isn't something that you think about. As a chick, I don't think about it to the level that other chicks maybe think about it. And, like, you know, with the whole Me Too, blah, 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 yes, all women, there was a lot of stuff in that I have not experienced. But there are certain things and certain realities that I have to be realistic about. So yeah, those kinds of jobs are no good. The ones that made more sense is like working from home, but I haven't come across a working from home job that makes sense to me, and like that experience of having done it. Like, it's a sort of job that you could get an AI to do, and I don't understand why their systems are set up so badly and there's so much repetition. It's like, just design your system better, then you don't need to hire someone like me. Yeah, no, and I think there's just something about the way that my brain works, like how chaotic it is, being told that a certain time of day I have to focus on a certain task for a certain amount of time and complete it to a certain level. Somehow I've just, like, lost that ability, or I don't know, there's some fucked up psychology going on in there. I did better in academia, but I can't concentrate on that anymore either. Hello! From Alaska! Alaska! I think my parents visited Alaska. They've been around the world. I'm content to just stay home. Also, when I was working at Kodak, you know, I would color correct people's photos because we were, like, trying to be higher end than your cheap, you know, office works, just print it kind of thing. So I would see a lot of people's holidays and where they've been, and I'm like, yeah, Sinead, I've been there. I can just watch it on TV as well. I don't need to actually go. When I go, like, yeah, okay, cool, I guess. I don't know. There's some things that, like, I've never experienced the way that someone like my dad does. So we can go for walks and Dad will look at, like, this view and he'll be like, oh, isn't this a beautiful view? And doesn't this make you feel, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I can intellectually see why it's considered a nice view, but I don't feel anything. So there's just, like, some problems with my brain where it doesn't operate. Did you color correct anyone's nudes? No. In fact, my boss said that once I joined Kodak Express, all the photos they were getting became a lot more clean. Now, I don't think that's actually because I joined. I think it's because their old shop used to be this sort of dingy little thing, and so people are more likely to bring their naughty photos to somewhere that looks dingy, where they think that everyone's a little bit... Whereas the new shop was, like, really nice and open and polished and clean and high ceiling and... Yeah, so apparently, like, I think that's the reason, but I think I joined, I don't know when they actually moved to that, but he would joke about how, oh, it's because I joined that they don't get the naughty stuff. The worst stuff that we got was actually, we used to process the chemist's photos as well, but we did that as a cheap job for them, so that one was just like, you know, scan in the film, just hit print, don't do any color correction, although, you know, if it was just a little thing, I might put, like, a bulk correction on it, rather than going individually through the photos. But yeah, some of it was from a skin clinic, and some of it, there were photos of, like, you know, downstairs, and you weren't always sure what they were meant to be. And I was a bit like, yeah, okay, I'm just not gonna look. I'm just gonna, like, you know, hit print, there you go. And then it comes out, I'll wait for the, you know, the what do you call it? The card with all the little photos on it. Just wait for that to come out the top, chuck it straight in the thing, and there you go, it's done. What do they call it? Oh my god, I've got such a blank. I've got such a blank about what you call those things. Anyway, yeah, no, that's the worst stuff that we used to get in, is, like, weird medical photos, usually of downstairs. I think there was also a skin clinic in the area. That was the stuff. I think it was rare for them to get anything naughty. But anytime there was something naughty, my boss would be like, come and have a look at this. I'm like, okay. And I'd just not really. Because also, like, he was constantly talking, and I realized after a while that I didn't actually have to respond. He would just imagine me responding, or if I did respond, he would just imagine, like, whatever response he was wanting or expecting and just talk as if I had said whatever. So yeah, he's kind of an odd guy. He also, like, when, was it Angry Bird or Flappy Bird or one of those games came out, he was like, oh, you've got to play this. And I'm like, I'm on shift, but okay. So he's basically paying me to play this game on his phone. He was a funny guy. So yeah, that was an interesting time in my life. Oh dear. Yeah. So, like, you know, when I did work, there was stuff like that. And, like, you know, with office works, I liked the big machines. But, you know, management really killed a lot for me. And even when we finally got a better manager, like, you know, legit, I could have gotten Officeworks into a bit of trouble because of how those managers treated me. But, you know, who needs that drama? And they didn't win in the end anyway. And they do this, like, yearly survey of what things are like. And so then all my co-workers filled it out, like it was an anonymous one. And so they were filled out what they actually thought. And so those managers, one of them got demoted, and I think they both got moved on to different stores. So we got them into a bit of trouble, and all that kind of finally came out. How many friends do you have? I mean, what counts as a friend? I've got a lot of Facebook friends. What about people I consider friends? It depends, like... That's too much of a difficult question for me to think about which ones are, like, real friends, which ones are just acquaintances, which ones are just networking contacts, which ones I'm friendly with but don't see a lot of. I don't see a lot of everyone, really. No, there's like one friend I see more often than others. Yeah, no, the office work stuff, the management, that was a bit of a thing. And because I was willing to speak up and be known, I got into trouble. But then once everyone was anonymous, then upper management is like, oh, actually, these guys are shit. And so then we got a good manager back, who I really liked and got on with really well, but I still just wasn't handling the job overall. I don't remember exactly what the issue was, but... Oh, also at the time, my grandma was... she'd been put in a nursing home and she was not doing so well. I think there was a bit of stress around that, and I wonder if, you know, some of the childhood trauma stuff was coming up in that. So it was kind of a hard time in my life, but I think I was also just getting the shits with retail. You know, most of the customers liked me, but every now and then you get some bitch in who's just like, you know, why do you keep coming back if you don't like anything there? It's just like, I'll never shop here again. Good! Don't come back! Go fucking somewhere else. Stop being such... Oh my god. Yeah, but, so, I think Officeworks, that was my last retail job. I mean, with Bonsai, there was a bit of a retail element, and when I took the job, I assumed I was going to be doing retail, and I was very pleasantly surprised to find I was doing more of the creative stuff and the actual bonsai work. But yeah, I don't really consider that retail, because usually if there was a customer, my boss would actually handle it, which surprised me, and I'd just be allowed to keep doing the bonsai, the fun stuff. Yeah. No, I couldn't go back to retail. I just can't stand people's issues. I think everyone should work in retail, or a retail-like business, you know, hospitality or something, like, so that they get experience with the public and what dickheads they can be, because once you've experienced it, I think people would be less likely to be dicks to retail staff if they had an understanding of what goes into it, and what you're dealing with, and the fact that things that go wrong often aren't your own fault. It's because of management, or it's because of, you know, things that someone else did, and you're like, you're the one mopping up the mess. I mopped up a lot of mess because I was really good at it. Like, the jobs that I've done, I've tended to be really good at. So it's not a problem of ability, but it's like my brain, I just can't, I get depressed and I can't keep doing things, and I run out of energy, and my energy has been a lot harder these days. I don't get enough exercise, I'm aware of that. I know for mental health you're supposed to exercise more, but when you're a certain level of depressed, it's almost impossible to do that sort of exercise that you need to improve your mental health. And like at the moment, not having a dog to tell me to go for walks, like I had to take myself for a walk today, and that's what that short will be about. And yes, I did leave the house looking like that. And I did see a car go by, and the lady in the passenger seat was sort of like, what the fuck? But you know, I'm trying to stir up the neighborhood a little bit. It gives me something to do. It's a little bit amusing. And yeah, I'm a certified nutcase at this point. Like, you know, I was a top student and people had such high expectations for me, and I had high expectations of myself. And instead, I've just crashed and burned. Didn't deal with all the trauma that I didn't realize I had for ages. God. Just like looking at my life, like I can see how I ended up this way. And it's just a shame it took so long to figure it out. But I think, you know, once puberty happens, a lot of the... Because I was actually talking to my psychologist about this yesterday. Because she asked me, like, when we were talking about dissociation, and I think she asked me, like, what age is the other part of me? And I'm like, I have not really thought about it that way. And I also don't want to give it an age and act like one of those DID people. Because, like, I'm 35. Why would any part of me be younger than that? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, no. And then she was sort of asking me, like, you know, because it's, like, how long has it been a thing for you? And I was like, well, as long as I can remember. Have you gone swimming at the beach? Not for a long time. I used to go a lot. Like I said, I got the bad sunburn. And that's why I avoid the sun more now these days. I probably, you know, that's why I've got to take some vitamin D, I guess. Just to make sure that I don't run out, especially like lately I'm indoors too much. But yeah, no, I've gotten my share of sunburn already. That was a horrible experience. That was a childhood trauma experience, and now I don't like the sun. But no, I still went out after that, but like, you know, we used to have a beach house, like the extended family had a beach house up in the north of Sydney, Northern Beaches. And so we'd go there occasionally. But I think when my grandparents were getting older, they sold it. Because it was expensive to maintain, and, you know, they were preparing to go into a nursing home, and that's expensive, and blah, 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 blah. So once that got sold, we went a lot, like, you know, we stopped going, obviously. And then the beaches closer to me are pretty boring. And then, you know, going goth, colouring my hair, coloured hair, and, you know, swimming don't really mix very well, especially when it's bleached. Salt water is not as bad, but chlorine you definitely don't want to be around. Yeah, anyway, what was I saying just before that? I don't even remember. You guys are so good at getting me off topic. Oh, dear. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, the dissociation. She said, yeah, how long has, you know, the sort of split sense of self being a thing for me, and it's like pretty much childhood. I think she was trying to use that, like if she was going to put an age on that part of me, you know, how long it's been with you is supposed to be some kind of an indication. I don't know. Because that's supposed to be like when it was created, and then it gets stuck at that age if you go by all the DID stuff, which I don't have DID, so I don't know if that applies to me. But yeah, it's talking about that, right? So as well as that, like my sense of self being fucked up, as well as that being a thing that I had for as long as I can remember, I also can see, like, you know, being socially weird and not, like, I was able to make friends, but for example, on the bus home, I, instead of sitting with everyone at the back of the bus, I would sit at the front of the bus, behind the bus driver. They used to be, on the old school buses, you get all the leg room and space for your bag, and it was easy to get off the bus. You don't have to fight all the other kids to get to the door, and so I really liked that spot, and I would rather sit there than with all the, you know, people I'm supposed to be friends with out the back. And they thought I was weird, and I just didn't give a shit. I did my own thing. Like, that was from very early on. I did my own thing there, and I've just, like, always been like that. For as long as I can remember, I've just kind of been socially weird. So that would have been the early signs of schizoid. And then with depression, you know, like as a kid, you are a little bit carefree, but there were also like lots of little things where I realized in hindsight were probably signs that I was predisposed to becoming depressed. You know, I talked about that a bit with my psychologist. And then once you hit puberty, that's where a whole bunch of brain changes happen, and some of those patterns start to solidify. And so a lot of mental illness comes out once you're going through puberty and once you settle into that thing. And so, oh, Paper Vampire. What did that do? It didn't come up on this thing. It's blank? Is it blank? Yeah, Paper Vampire. He was in a empty chat. Okay. It was a bit confusing for a moment there. But yeah, no, once you go through puberty, a lot of those brain changes happen. And so, like, yeah, it's taken me until I'm 35, or last year, and at the start of the year I would have been 33. So it took me a long time to realize that I have all these issues, and like, you know, the influence of my family situation, having a disabled brother, the glass child trauma, my parents being sort of not exactly emotional people, more financial types. You know, like, I've realized that now, just by mistake. Oh dear. But yeah, no, like, now I understand all that. And it's sort of like, well, if I had gotten help earlier, would I have been able to avoid this fate, this psychological fate where I just don't operate within mainstream society? I'm not able to function the way that our world is set up. If I had gotten earlier intervention, would that have prevented this? Because it has been a slow deterioration. Like, I started off adulthood working and all that. They got over No, I turned it off. I turned off the hearts and 100% thing. Do you prefer it turned off? Because I know it gets in the way. And I don't even see it happening anyway, so what's the point? I think I can see it if I'm, like, on a certain format. But yeah, it just seems like a pointless thing, so I turned it off. Which is cool that I can turn it off now. But yeah, and I'm just sort of thinking, like, at what point would I have needed intervention to, you know, stop ending up like this? Because I've had depression issues on and off since year 8 and year 9, so 2002, 2003. I've had, like, you know, I was definitely depressed in 2003. I just didn't know at the time. I didn't know what depression was. Mental illness awareness, mental health awareness wasn't really a thing. It did get in the way. Can't really let you disable. I'm so glad they let me disable it, because it just seems stupid. I just need to figure out how to make it like a default setting, and then we'll be good. But yeah, if I keep having to change it manually, that's fine. Yeah, no, when I think about it, so 2003, I was definitely depressed, and I was definitely having suicidal thoughts by then. So I was quite young, actually, younger than I thought I was. When I first started having those thoughts. It was probably even earlier than that. But yeah, so... But when I first got out of school, I did try... But I also dropped out of my first uni course. It didn't take me long to have my... I mean, I did a semester, okay. I did a semester. But then I just dropped out after that. I was like, what? Why am I doing this? This is dumb. I fucking can't. And then I got really badly depressed and got my first diagnosis of depression. But I was depressed before that. I managed to, like, yeah, so that year, like, I kept working at the McDonald's, but I wasn't doing uni, and I was sort of, like, yeah, struggling with life and trying to come up with what's next. And this is before YouTube as well, so you guys wouldn't have seen all that. So yeah, I was already having some pretty serious issues then, and I just, like, you know, I think seeing a private psychologist was a mistake. But then I didn't know that I had that severe problems at the time, and I don't think my GP would have either. I think I was still seeing the dude at the time. I think I don't know, I don't remember. Pretty sure he's the one who referred me. And then even later, they kept referring me to private psychologists, and I only feel like I've gotten better help since going to a clinic. Although... that's the first time I've gone in with a schizoid diagnosis. So had I gone in without the diagnosis, maybe it would still have been shit. I don't know. But yeah, so, you know, in terms of, like, proper help that addressed the actual issues that I didn't know I had. I didn't realize that having a disabled brother was that big a deal. I didn't realize my family situation was that big a deal. I would tell people my family situation is fine. I had a good job. Oh yes, I've got a disabled brother, but it's fine. It doesn't affect me, whatever. I was in so much denial, I just didn't realize. But if I knew, like, you know, if people realized that was an issue, and if we went back further, like, how far back would you have to go to stop my life getting to this? Because, like, the first thing of chaos would have been when I was about 3 years old, and that's when you're just at that point where you're vulnerable to those early traumas. So I don't know, like, when could you have intervened to stop me becoming this way? And when I look at it, I'm like, I was kind of set up to fail very early on. And even if I didn't have a disabled brother, I can see that my life would have been difficult in part because of, like, you know, my parents' attitudes just in general. You know, they're better now, they understand now, but at the time, you know, particular ways of how you're supposed to be, being high achieving and all that, and just like, yeah, the disabled brother thing did exacerbate a lot. But yeah, I'm just like, how... I don't know if this could have been prevented. Like, okay, maybe a few things could have changed, and maybe I would have gotten to this level of deterioration later. I don't know. There's no way to know. I kind of just... Yeah, I don't know. I've sort of just got to accept that this is where I'm at now. Like, it feels weird because I was such a good student and I was told all these great things about what my future would be like, and then this is where I end up. And so it's kind of like, yeah, it's a bit of a mindfuck and a, like, what the fuck happened to my life? But if that's how I am, yeah, I think a bit of a bit of this year has been about coming to terms with that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think there was something else that I was going to say, but I don't remember it, of course. Anyway, it's almost like 1 a.m., so I should probably, I should probably start getting ready for bed. I'm not going to do the whole face washing routine, thank God. I will post that skincare, the skincare short when we finish this, so you can see what I'm talking about. The next one I will wait a little bit, because I don't want to, like, overwhelm YouTube with my nonsense. But how I managed to get out for a walk today. Oh dear. Yeah. I don't know, like, there's so many weird things that I've done, and it's like, how did it take people so long to realize I was this mentally ill? Oh my god. Because I've always been a weird kid. So late, get to bed. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that means that people have had enough time to think about whether they have any more questions. So if there is nothing else, I will go to bed. I will eat the goodies at some point when I have tea, which I probably won't live stream, but who knows? Who knows? You know, all that stuff that I made for Instagram. I had planned to post something today, but because I got derailed by ordering stuff online and panicking over the low stock, I really was waiting for Boxing Day sales. But anyway, no, because I ran out of time, I just didn't write any captions, and I'm like, well, at this point, Christmas is going to get a little bit chaotic, so maybe I'll just wait until after Christmas and when I can be bothered. I don't need to have constant content, especially on Instagram. It's just like, you know, while I was catching up, it was all there, but now I'm like, I think part of it, though, because I keep doing interesting outfits, I keep coming up with things that I want to post on Instagram, because I'm a completionist. And so if I dress up too much I'm definitely dressing up for Christmas, because I got to freak out my family. I'm going for a girly look, which they won't be used to. And they won't be used to the makeup, and it'll be fun to mess with them that way. Will I have time for photos, hopefully. Hey! It's a super chat. Is it gonna do the thing? Is it gonna do the thing? Come on, Stream Elements. Do your thing. It's gonna do the thing for the super chat. Is it a sticker? It's got a zzz. It's registered on that. That. But it's supposed to, because I've got the Stream Elements thing. It's like, pa-ching. Oh, it might take a while. I don't know how long the delay is. Thank you. Supers are fun. Yeah, no, I'm gonna dress up to mess with my family, and we'll hopefully take photos. Oh, it's got a big 3. Is that showing up on the other? It's got a big 3. Let's celebrate their third super on a live stream. I didn't know that YouTube did that. That it's like counting. That's cool. There it is! I did the thing! The super chatty thing! Yay! Yay! I like when that goes off because I put so much into trying to make it, set it up, and it did the thing. Yay! Thank you. Yeah, the sleeping thing. No, I will try and take photos of my Christmas outfit. Then after that, well, it'll be Boxing Day, and I'll probably just be online being a slob in me trackies with my plushy slippers, and so that day I won't dress up, and maybe I'll be able to catch up. It did the thing! Yay! You know, well, another thing, so, you know my brown Ugg boots, they're the taller ones, the fluffy, they've got the nice fluffy stuff around the edges, right? I started leaving that out in the other room, to, like, by the door to go outside, so that I can wear these indoors, and then when I want to go outside, instead of wearing these outdoors, I take them off, I put them down, and then I put on the, my Ugg boots, because they have, like, a proper sole, and, like, they feel better outdoors, and all that. So then I'll go outdoors in my Ugg boots and then come back in and put these on. But when I come back in and these are sitting in the glass door, it looks like they're watching me. And it kind of like, it feels really cute, and it made me feel a little bit better because obviously my dog isn't watching me. He used to watch me, like sometimes he would come out with me as well, but he also didn't like me being out in the garden because it's like not what I usually do. And so sometimes he would be watching, and then now I've got these two watching me as I do stuff out there, and like I know they're not real and they can't replace my dog, but it just sort of gave me a nice feeling, and sort of reminded me of that stuff about him, and I miss him so much. But yeah, no, it's just like, anyway, so Boxing Day I'll be a slob. Maybe tomorrow I'll get time to write an Instagram caption, but okay, I'm gonna get to bed. Do we want to go out on some music? Just a little bit. The truth, because I have, Nani, I have me merch store still set up on here. I've got me designs with the little thing where I can go, look at all these colours. Past me, set that up. And then I've got my, this song. I will play this song for you, which is what those designs are all about. It's the truth. Anyway, buy my shirts. Well, listen to this song, which has a bit of a dissociation theme. I'm probably not going to be able to release my next song this year because I'm just not focused enough. But next year, 2024, new song coming out at the very least. If I get more songs written, maybe more, but I'm just going to leave it at one song as a goal to release for next year. Year of the Dragon, like I said, that's my year. The Truth, let's add that to my playlist. It might be a bit loud, so brace yourselves! Brace yourselves! Oh no, it starts off kind of chill. Oh my god, the way that it did those emojis. Here, elbow cough, elbow cough, elbow cough. Oops, oops, oops. I can sense your cowardice. It ripples through this body to reveal your weakness. Evade the thoughts of past, but circumvention cannot last. These streets aren't even real, and you know it. What are you hiding from? Out of breath, you fear your shadow. Within your mind, you can't escape. Never alone. Pounding, hiding in your ears. My voice will never disappear. It's time to face the truth. Get this down of my head. I'm trying not to sing too loudly. Oh, I'm terrified. What if she breaks free? Will it be the end of me? And then you'll see the world through my eyes. Taste the thrill of the sensations. You tonight with the freedom to destroy all these constructs.